inside the Citrus TV studios for another look inside the matchup between Syracuse and number 20 Rutgers. Welcome to Cuse Countdown. Alongside Corey Crockett and Russ Reed, I'm Ben Fontana. And guys, Syracuse is 1-0 in the Big East, now going up against a ranked Rutgers squad. So how much would this win mean going forward in the conference for SU?
I think this win would be huge in particular because the quality competition here is tremendous. A top 5 ranked defense nationally. And if SU can get back on track to what they were doing before with their offense and being able to pass all over everybody, I think it'd be a great sign.
Yeah, a lot of fans were excited about the Pittsburgh game, but that was really a mediocre Pittsburgh squad. This is the real meat of the Big East, and Rutgers is really going to be a difference for the Orange schedule-wise.
Usually we don't talk about Rutgers being the meat of the Big East, but hey, this year they're pretty good. Let's take a look at those standings. Rutgers sits atop right there at 2-0 in the conference and 5-0 in the Big East. A couple other teams up there at 5-0 is Cincinnati, and down the list we see Louisville at 5-0 as well. So guys, do you see any of these teams as legitimate BCS bowl contending teams? Because someone out of the Big East has got that automatic bid.
Right. I think it's going to be between Rutgers and Louisville. I think Louisville's got a tremendous amount of athletes to match up with anybody in the conference. I think they could honestly, with the rest of their schedule, go undefeated. But Rutgers is going to give them a challenge with that number 5 defense. They've got athletes all over the field as well.
I think you could throw Cincinnati in there, but not confidently. I agree. I think Rutgers is the clearest choice. Louisville is another good squad, but it's tough. It's the Big East.
Well, Syracuse is going to get to face all those schools coming in. Ranked teams for the first time since the final poll of 2009. We saw Rutgers, Louisville, and Cincinnati, all teams that, could be BCS bowl contending teams. So as we look into this matchup against Rutgers for Syracuse, what are some of the key matchups that you guys have going forward into this one?
Key matchup is going to be Ryan Nassib, or one of them, will be Ryan Nassib versus the Rutgers secondary. In this one, I'm going to take the Rutgers secondary. I think Logan Ryan is the X factor there at corner. He was a second-team All-Big East last year as a sophomore. He's got a great number of pass breakups. He's tied for the team lead in interceptions. And this guy isn't afraid to get his nose in there on run defense either.
This is going to be one of the more interesting matchups. Ryan Nassib has struggled in the red zone. If you want to compare the red zone offense of Syracuse to some of the other squads, Louisville is at nearly 96%. The top leaders in the SEC have 100% red zone scores. Syracuse, 80%.
Well, Russ, I'll let you pick the first key matchup, but I'll give you guys the second one. How about Juwan Jamison, this stud running back for Rutgers, going up against the Syracuse D that held Pittsburgh to 27 yards on the ground last week. So who you got?
I'm going to go with the Syracuse defense, as shocking as it may seem, because last week they showed a resolve that I haven't seen out of them, my entire time here at Syracuse. It's tremendous, honestly, the effort they put up, because they were down in time again. The offense kept going 3 and out, and they just kept getting surge off the ball and knocking Pittsburgh back. I'm
actually going to go with Juwan Jamison here. This guy is an animal. He jukes and cuts like no other. He is the #1 rusher in the Big East and #9 in total offense in the whole conference among all positions. The guy's an animal. It's not going to be easy to stop him, no matter who's playing against him.
Well, I mean, if any of these Big East games are what we've seen from the other Big East games around the conference, it's going to be a game of field position. So here's the last one for you. The Rutgers return team versus the Syracuse kick team.
I'm going to take the Rutgers return team just based off potential. I know it doesn't seem like a logical thing to do. They've got a guy in Jeremy Deering, a great return specialist. I mean, Rutgers has only had 2 kick returns all year, but I think given opportunity they can do something, because Deering on his 1 kick return got 55 yards. And I know Syracuse doesn't tend to have many touchbacks.
Now, if you look at the Syracuse special teams unit, it's really an enormous spectrum. They rank dead last in punt returns and punting, but then when you look at kick coverage, they lead the Big East. So I'm actually going to go with the Syracuse kick coverage here, because they're leading the entire conference against a pretty average Rutgers squad.
You guys seem to be split on a lot of these key matchups, so, I mean, hopefully it's a good game, but what do you guys think? Close, low scoring, high? What do you got?
I'm going to go close and low scoring. I'm going to take Rutgers 14-10. I think the Rutgers defense is just too good. Number 5 in the country. They've got a defensive backfield that can match up with almost anybody's receiving core. They've got a linebacker and Kasim Green that is just all over the field, whether it's defending passes or coming in on the blitz and pressuring the quarterback.
And then, obviously, this is also going to be a game of field position, like we mentioned, Corey. So is it more of the same like you got from Russ?
Yeah, I agree. I think this is going to be Rutgers in this one. I've got the Scarlet Knights 21-17, just because it's going to be too difficult for the Orange to stop their weapons. Juwan Jamison is an unstoppable guy, but when you throw in Gary Nova and wide receivers like Brandon Coleman, who can, frankly, score and take some of the pressure off the running back core, I think it's all Rutgers.
20th ranked team in the nation, got some gun power. So it'll be a great matchup. Syracuse in Piscataway on the road. True road game for just the second time this season. Once again, for Corey Crockett and Russ Reed, I've been Ben Fontana. SU and Rutgers, follow us on Twitter at Citrus TV Sports for all your live in-game updates, and enjoy the game, Syracuse.